to Miss Cindy's kitchen. Tonight I'm going to show you a open cabinet door.
Well,
I think that's my hallmark. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to make a stovetop chicken divan. And Dollia found a whole bunch of her toys underneath the couch when we moved it in advance of getting a new couch. So she's in the process of bringing all the balls to the kitchen. She's not getting enough attention right now.
No, she's not.
Anyway, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn the stove on and put a tablespoon, make sure that lit properly, put a tablespoon about of butter in the skillet to brown the chicken. This is a little nubbin of butter that just needs to be used up, so a little bit more than a tablespoon, but just like Paula Deen said, just add a little bit of butter.
Yep.
Alright, so what we're going to do is cook the chicken in the butter, and it called for 2 chicken breasts that were approximately 8 to 9 ounces. Now I got some chicken today that were rather large chicken breasts. I don't know how big the rest of the chicken was, but this one chicken breast, this is one chicken breast, 18 ounces. No, wow. Actually this one was 19. The other one was 18. This is a single chicken breast. I don't know what they're feeding to these chickens, but anyway, that's beside the point. But that is 18 ounces of cubed chicken breast. And alternately, you could use leftover chicken and you could just skip the this browning stage. So, but I thought that was interesting. That one chicken breast was about 19 ounces worth of chicken. So, anyway, because Albertsons had a sale on boneless, skinless chicken breasts. So we're going to brown the chicken. So while that browns, I will go over with you what else we're going to do with the recipe. We are going to first brown the chicken, and then when it's mostly cooked, not necessarily all the way cooked, we're going to remove it from the skillet, put it on a plate. Then we're going to put the 3 cups of broccoli florets in the pan with a 1/4 cup of water and cook them for about 5 minutes until they are crisp tender. And then after that, we put the broccoli on the same plate as the chicken, so it's going to have to be a big plate. We're going to have to hold all this stuff on it. And then we will make the skillet mixture of the gravy, which is flour and salt and pepper, and then add the milk. So 1 1/4 cups of whole milk. We had 2%. It'll work. And then after we make the cream sauce, we will add in 4 ounces of cubed cream cheese that is softened to room temperature, and 3/4 of a cup of sharp cheddar cheese. The recipe calls for white cheddar cheese, but we had the classic yellow. And it's sharp cheddar. It'll work. And overall, the best cheese is one you shred off the block. However, bagged pre-shredded cheese is fine if that's what you have on hand. So, I'm going to cook the chicken. Alright, let me double check the instructions. It's kind of about halfway to where we need it to be. And then we need to season it with a teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. So I'm just going to guesstimate it. This is the Himalayan salt. I think it has more flavor than classic table salt. And just a bit of pepper. A little salt and pepper won't hurt anybody. Unless you're a slug on the sidewalk. My dad used to love to pour salt on those things. Alright, so while this continues to brown, let me get a plate ready. Alright, so we'll pause here, wait for the chicken to get to where it needs to be, and we'll remove it from the plate. from the plate onto the plate, and then we will cook the broccoli. So we'll be right back. All right, and our chicken is cooked to the point where it's ready to come out of the skillet and make room for the broccoli. And again, you could use pre-cooked chicken, rotisserie, last night's leftovers, as long as it balances out to about the same amount of chicken. You would just omit the browning the chicken step.
Huh.
We just got the fresh chicken breast because it was on a good special today. So, and it says to leave the pan juices in there. So, now we're going to add in the cost for 3 cups of broccoli. This is almost 4. We love broccoli. I couldn't help myself.
Yep.
So, and put that in there with 1/4 cup of water. And like I tell my kids, if you just use a measuring device for water, it doesn't need to go in the sink to be washed. It's clean because you didn't put any food or drink in it. Because water is water.
Just water.
Exactly. So, we're going to saute this for about 5 minutes until it is bright green and partly tender, and then we'll bring you back. Alright, and the broccoli is now cooked enough to take it out of the skillet. And make sure you like and subscribe and share this video to your friends. And we are closing in on 1,000 subscribers. So, the more shares, the more likes. We really appreciate it. And we are going to be working on, we will do a live when we get to 1,000 subscribers. And you all can make suggestions. So, anyway, now we cook the broccoli. And then we are going to, we preheat the butter. We preheat the broiler. And we put the butter into the skillet. Oh, I gotta let the skillet cool off a tiny bit. It got too hot.
If we preheat the butter, it'll be melted.
Yeah. Ooh wee. Let's pause for a minute while we cool off the skillet. Because it is some hot stuff tonight. Alright, now that the skillet has cooled off a little bit, it was just screaming hot. So, that was going to scorch the butter. So, let me get 3 tablespoons of butter here. So, we got 3 tablespoons of butter. And, let me scrape it off into the skillet. And this is basically how you make a cream sauce. Alright. See, we want the butter to sizzle but not go scorch. Because if I had put it in when it was that hot, it would have just burnt the butter.
So how'd you get it to cool down?
I turned the heat off. And then I also put in a little bit of water. You know, warm water, that is. Basically, and then I just turned the burner way down. Because with the gas stove, you've got more control over the burner than you have with a electric stove. So, 2 tablespoons of plain flour. And then we're going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Just eyeball it. And then like 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Just eyeball it. So we're going to make the cream sauce. Right now the flour is cooking and browning. That part is necessary to eliminate the raw flour taste in your sauce. This is kind of the foundation for how you make most cheese sauces.
Yeah.
And it looks like this temperature is doing well because it's cooking right rather than being too fast. So I'm going to gradually add this in a little at a time. And let me just grab the whisk. This is a really good whisk for pan sauces because it's a nylon whisk. It helps blend the flour and milk together. Dollia's watching us. Yeah, she got a new sweater today. We went to our church has a thrift store, and they have a parking lot sale. And one of the clothing items mixed in with the people clothes was a dog sweater. And this dog is perpetually jealous of our small Chihuahua dog because she has a collection of sweaters. And she really likes wearing sweaters now because her sister wears sweaters. Who, me? Did I do that?
Yep.
Just gonna go ahead and add the rest. And I took the one knob off because of last week's incident where she lit the stove. Once is enough for me.
Yeah, it was once enough was enough for me too.
Because we're short of stove clips, so taking off the knobs is easier. Alright, breaking up the little clumps of flour. So now we are going to we're going to put the cheeses in there. So I'm going to put that in. That is about 3/4 of a cup of sharp cheddar. And then we have, whoops, that would have been a disaster.
What'd you do?
I almost dropped most of a stick of butter on the floor.
Yeah, that would have been a disaster.
Dahlia would have taken off with it like, yeah, I got some butter.
So that's like half a brick?
That's half a brick of cream cheese, cubed, and allowed to soften. So this is what makes it creamy. So we're going to melt this and then add the cheese. Yeah. So, all right. Gonna stir in this, and then we're gonna put the broccoli back in. All right, while we wait for this to melt, we'll pause and then we'll bring you back. Now we're gonna add the broccoli and chicken back to the skillet, and we're gonna simmer this for about 6 minutes.
So when do you add the other cheese?
The other cheese after this simmers a little bit.
Okay.
Technically both cheeses are supposed to go in after the simmering stage, but I goofed and put the cream cheese in early, but that's okay. It'll all come out in the end. So, we're going to simmer this for about 5 minutes, and then we'll bring you back for the next step. And we're back. So make sure you have liked and subscribed and shared this video to all of your friends. And give us suggestions for what you might want to have for a live video once we hit our 1,000 subscribers. So we're going to save back a little bit of cheese to go in the topping. So let me stir in this cheese. Oh, and then a friend gave me a whole bunch of little cookbooks that span about the last 50 years. So one of my upcoming ideas is to do a through the decades recipe, recipe series. So if you guys have any recipes from the past or something you may have had as a child or that your grandma fixed or something, leave it in a comment and I'll look and see if I can find a recipe for that type of thing, in addition to the other recipes I might find from that same era. So let me let that simmer just a teeny bit and I will make the topping. Alright, get rid of this plate there.
Yeah, we also have a couple more Disney recipes we're going to do in the near future too. So
yeah. Alright. It says a 1/4 cup of cheese. It's a little bit more, but too much cheese is never a problem. Then we're going to put oil. This is for the topping. That's 2 tablespoons of oil, 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. It recommended panko. I had plain old Italian breadcrumbs. It'll work.
it all works.
And I'm reusing the bowl. Save dishes. And it calls for like a tablespoon of fresh parsley, so I'm just going to put in a sprinkle of dry parsley, and the breadcrumbs already have parsley in there. And then we kind of put in a little bit of salt. And let me grab a fork to stir this. Yeah, focus on the food, not the dirty dishes.
Well, it's a working kitchen, so.
Yes. And we got new furniture today. That's coming in a few days. So we had to prepare our living room. And I don't know about you, if your pets go for all the under the couch goodies as soon as they are revealed. You would think it was Christmas morning and they had stockings from Santa. They were like, oh my gosh, there's a crumb I forgot to eat. This one found probably about 8 to 10 toys, mostly balls. And I found my raincoat that I have not seen since spring of last year. It's a packable raincoat. We got back from a trip. I usually unpack on the couch, and apparently my couch ate my raincoat.
Yeah.
I found it finally. Of course, now our rainy season is winding down. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep stirring this and then sprinkle it over our recipe. Whoops. I just made a mess on a nice clean stove, but you know, it's kind of like when you clean house, the kids come in and wreck it.
That's a great excuse to clean the stove.
Yeah, somebody else can do it this time. Alright. So I'm going to turn off the flame, scrape out the bowl. So, and again, keep liking and subscribing to my channel and leave us comments on what you would like to see us make. Because again, we are looking to make some retro recipes from the past. So
I got one recipe we can do.
What?
Mama Jan's apple pie.
Yep, we're gonna work on that. Watch out, Dollia. So this is the first time I've used the broiler in my in the house we're at now. For some reason, kind of like making pies, I just never got around to it. But now we're going to let this brown for just a few minutes, like maybe 5 minutes in the broiler. But I will keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't scorch. And this is a cast iron pan, so you need to make sure you use an oven-safe pan. So,
what happens if you don't?
You don't want to find out.
Okay, that's the best answer.
Because glass bakeware clearly says no broiler, no stovetop. If you really want to and find out, you can try it and see what happens.
Yeah, okay. I think I will err on the side of caution and not.
So that's why I like having a cast iron pan. It's very versatile in that you can do stovetop, go to the oven. The only thing I hear you cannot do well in a cast iron pan, and that's not recommended, is anything tomato paste. Tomato sauce.
Okay.
Type of thing, because it will eat away at the coating of the iron pan.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
So, other than that, cast iron pans are pretty durable. You just need to keep up with their maintenance, which I am learning how to do because I like my cast iron pan and I want to take care of it. So, and it says to broil for about 2 minutes. So,
by the time we finish talking,
let's take a peek because that was a long blurb here. It's almost there. It's interesting seeing the flame coming from the top of the oven and the bottom.
Yeah.
So, and then after we pull it out of the oven, we will let it rest for a few minutes, and then we'll do a taste test. Because I got to get back in the camera shot here, because that way we won't have lava tongues. So, because be careful at hot. Sometimes doesn't work when the food is so appetizing you just can't wait.
All right.
So, let me go ahead and pull it out of the oven. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the oven. So, one nice thing about silicone oven mitts, they needed a refresh, so I just put them in the dishwasher with the last load. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't that look yummy?
That looks great.
That looks yummy. Okay. Let me go ahead and grab this, put this on the stove. And silicone mitts actually do work. Plus you can do puppet shows when you're bored. So, we'll bring you back in a few minutes when this is cool enough to eat.
Look at that.
It's nice. All right.
And we're serving it on a bed of rice. Or you can use noodles.
See if this is boiling up. It's really good.
Like the hearts in your head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we hit the after Valentine's Day sales.
They still had some candy and some places left at this one store, so we just kind of like...
I've been
Got the rest of the stuff.
ruining my diet with all the chocolate. You know. This is good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially after moving the couch.
Yes, we got a lot of work done today. So anyway, thank you again for joining us. And we'll be back again with you soon to bring you more delicious recipes. Have a great evening.
Thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen. To get more recipes like this one, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Share it out to your friends, family, neighbors, and leave us a comment to let us know how this recipe worked for you. And don't forget to hit that like button. Again, thank you for watching Miss Cindy's Kitchen.